But you have major tree stumps that's been there for at least 100 years, right? And they like, you can tell it was a bunch of trees there, but they don't cut them down. Like when you know what lumberjacks do in foresting, they cut close to the ground. These trees not cut close to the ground, and they all did, right? And the reason they did because they burnt them up, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I was born in Miami, but I claim Virginia because that's where I'm from. And like, we had a house in Miami and everything or whatever, but I was always telling my mom how I liked more so the middle of Florida and North Florida because it had more agriculture. Like it had more greenery there. Like in Miami, there's a few palm trees, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no like real green. And I was just like, it's actually crazy that it's just houses everywhere and there's no green, barely any grass.
The land in Florida used to look like the bayous of Louisiana. The whole, almost all of Florida. And then where all of the major cities of Florida, Jacksonville, Miami, Dayton, Tallahassee, those were what you call dry lands of Florida. The majority of Florida they lived in the treetops. We called them skywalkers. And it stretched, it wasn't just Florida. The rainforests of the South that was cut down stretched all the way going into Texas.
Oh, shoot. So like it went through Alabama, through Georgia, Alabama.
Through Alabama, Georgia, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, all the way up into Texas. They had trees cut down. If you go back to the stories of what's this? He had Babe the Blue Eye, Paul Bunyan, the great lumberjack, right? Because Paul Bunyan was the symbol for the lumberjacks that they brought over here to chop all that shit down.
Wow.
Then they found out how to monetize the trees, and we was fucked after that.
Once
they found out how to monetize the trees, that's when they started giving it to us with no motherfucking lube.
Do you believe in energy vortexes? Because like I'm here in Georgia, right? And like it does not, I get the kind of same feeling that I get when I'm in Arizona. Like it's a lot of, I mean, there's like a lot of bad everywhere, but it's a lot of weird shit going on over here. Like a lot of weird shit. And like,
well, this might help you. Atlanta is where Atlantis is supposed to reemerge from.
Ooh.
Atlanta. But before Atlantis can reemerge from Atlanta, meaning that the elders that's in Atlanta are the most instrumental, but they're not going to be seen until we see three kings walk in the land. And when three kings raise the matriarch, there's some people in Atlanta that's probably about 200 years old. They got the real keys. The keys I got, that's just opening the door to Big Mama house. But the real old people that live in Atlanta, they real old. I mean, like they real old. Like they old to the point where the whites of their eyes look like it got buildup on it, and it's kind of like a grayish color. They old.
Look like they got cataracts.
Yeah, but they don't got no cataracts. They see better than you.
Yeah.
And they got a very strong mystic presence, and you can probably be feeling them from where you at.
That's interesting because I feel like it is probably the elders that are gonna have to come out when they come out, you know what I'm saying? Because I know it's like people here in my age, I'm 23. Their frequency is so slave mentality, so locked in. And like I know like everybody has to go through their own journey and and figure it out themselves and wake up when they wake up. But it's crazy because you can give them all the facts. You can read them everything and they'll be like, so? And it's just so crazy because it's just like, don't you want to be your best self? Don't you want to be better? Don't you want to be healthy? Don't you want to activate? Don't you want to, be the best you can be? And like, they're so different than any other like group of indigenous Aboriginal people. Because I've traveled a lot through the East Coast. And like, I don't know, the people in Atlanta, like, it's like they have like a hold on them. And it's so crazy because if you're saying it's going to be the new Atlantis, like, I feel like a lot of people, when they start waking up for real, when they start seeing everything, they're going to be sick, like sick.
Well, a lot of people in Atlanta not going to make it. A lot of people in Atlanta not going to make it. And it ain't nothing that they could do about it because they not wired with the requirements it's going to take to make it through this shift. But there is some old people, and Big Mama just told me, channeled this since I've been talking to you, there's some people that we think dead that's in a meditative trance. In Atlanta. I don't know where they at, but they in Atlanta. in the general area of Atlanta.
Mm.
She said when the Crystal City land, they're going to automatically wake up as if somebody poured cold water on them.
Have you heard of the Georgia Guidestones?
Yep.
So I don't know, like when I first read them, I was like, well, this kind of makes sense. Like what it's saying doesn't sound crazy, doesn't sound bad. When it was like basically translating what it was. And then when I started doing some more research, it was a whole bunch of people saying that has to do with like the end of the world, apocalypses and the Antichrist and stuff. But it had me really confused because I didn't feel like it said anything bad. Like live with nature, live in harmony. Like, you know, it didn't have nothing that was like crazy on there that was just like, okay, this is like bad, you know what I'm saying? Or not even bad, like for us to be in distress. But I also know that it was a certain kind of people who were saying that. And I read that they wanted to knock them down, but they couldn't figure out how to destroy them.
Anybody that you can, listen, this is the Saints. Anybody you can't figure out how to destroy them, if you can leave them to their own devices, they'll destroy themselves most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have a tendency, especially the way we taught, to become arrogant and egocentric to the point that they don't think that nobody can touch them. They think they're untouchable until they get touched.
Truly.
You know, so the best thing, like me, I just want to wake people up. You don't have to believe everything that I say. I don't expect nobody to, because ain't nobody supposed to believe everything somebody say. You know what I mean? You're supposed to check shit out. You know, that don't sound right. Right, that don't sound right to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's supposed to resonate with you. Like if you get the goosies, if you flood in your spirit, and that's what it is. Like I feel like right now a lot of people are always questioning their intuition, and because I've always been a clairvoyant, and I've literally seen, like literally my fiance's aunt. I told him, I was like, we gotta check up on her because I had like this vision she's gonna be leaving. She left in a week. She was gone out of here in a week. Not forever, because we don't die, but like she was gone. And like for me being so in tune with that, like I do my best to just listen to my intuition, listen to spirit, and take my download seriously versus everybody else. And I noticed too, like in the spiritual community, everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be right. This is the real truth or whatever. And I'm just like, maybe that's your truth. Maybe that's your truth. You know what I'm saying? But there's only one truth. And if it don't resonate with everybody, it's probably not really the truth. You know what I'm saying? If most people are resonating with it.
This is the problem with people talking about they got the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the reason why they don't got the truth is because during their research, they took sides.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take sides because you wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
The body you in now wasn't here. You have to read that shit like a tarot card. If you don't read it like a tarot card, as an energy 100%. Signature from the past that's coming into the future to give you some information, and you take sides on that shit, whatever side you pick, you're gonna pick the wrong side because there's lies on both sides of it. Mm-hmm. But when you don't pick sides and you just try to get like my man on Just the Facts, man, Adam 12. Just the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't even take sides, right? It's like your two favorite cousins get into a fight. Just break that shit up. Don't get in that shit.
Facts. Like I was on here the other day when you were speaking on a few other, I guess people in this community who are trying to wake people up, and like what I heard, I didn't hear nothing from you saying nothing bad. And everybody was tagging these people, trying to like, instigate something out. And I just kept putting in the comments like, he didn't say anything bad though. But he didn't say anything bad. Like
that's because they got to take a side.
And I'm like,
this is how divide and conquer work.
Somebody just said the Atlanteans were born with ego, and that's why they fell.
They were infiltrated. That's why they fell.
Like
they didn't fall, really. Atlantis didn't fall. We was at war. And what they said sunk as Atlantis was a ship that flew away to Crystal City coming back. It just docked on Liverpool for the 3,600-year cycle until it come back around. Mm-hmm. Right? And that give us the time to figure out this conundrum we under and work our way out of the problem. But don't everybody that come to work their way out of the problem take sides and get us fucked.
Mm-hmm.
They always take sides and get us fucked. And that's why it took so long to break from under it.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it's even like people be trying to pit me against people. I'm not finna do that. Only way I'm gonna come at somebody is they wrong. Absolutely wrong. And Big Mama say get them. They got. They got.
Facts.
But when I say something, you better believe I got the receipts to back it up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't take sides.
And I think that
Right?
is a big I think that is a big problem. Like, even for little things, you know, like, for me growing up, like, you know, you talk a lot about like gang talk, you know, organizations, and like I never really understood why everyone was against each other. And I understand now what you're saying, like everybody has been infiltrated, and that's why people don't know that we're supposed to be brothers and sisters and stuff like that. But it was always so confusing to me, like, why are we taking the side when we're literally, that's literally your cousin. He on the next block over, that's your cousin, and you have to shoot against your cousin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we should all be, especially because I lived in the hood. So, like, I would see, like, a lot of crazy things, like, literally brothers killing each other, cousins killing each other, all for just because they want to rep something that they don't even understand fully. You know, like, they don't even understand that, like, gang signs are sigils. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things, like a lot of stuff is like, a lot of stuff is ritual, positive ritual, and they're making it to negative ritual. And it's so crazy to me because I have been able to see deeper with that, like with watching you, you know, because everybody has this stigma, especially on the GDs. Like, if you're in the East Coast, they have a stigma on the GDs, like whatever. And to know
That's
that, like,
government propaganda that teaches us
mm-hmm.
that so we were talking about that. I was on the Telegram call. Was it Telegram? One of them channels over there on another app. And we was just talking about the gangs and the villainization of the culture. Because the guy was under the impression that Larry, Jeff, Tukey is the cause, because they started these organizations, they're the cause of the problem. And it's like, no. If you don't understand the enemy, you're supposed to think that. That's the narrative the enemy told you to follow. So you following the enemy's narrative, but you have no clue that you're following the narrative that the enemy gave you, because you don't understand what the enemy was doing to occupy the land. This is occupied territory by foreign invaders. And the foreign invaders that occupied the territory wanted to keep the people of the land divided against each other, so we never figure out the problem, never come together, and never kick their ass off the land.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't do that at the close of the age, we default on our own shit. We gave it to them. I'm not giving a motherfucker nothing. I'm not giving a motherfucker nothing. Big Mama said, fuck all this shit up until all of yours get all of theirs. Leave no stone unturned. I'm a GD.
Facts.
She ain't told me to kill Nan Stone. She said don't leave them unturned. What that mean? Uneducated.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorant.
Facts.
So wherever I see one unsaid, they don't got to believe me. They don't have to agree with me. I'm going to drop this info on them, though. Because Big Mama said, leave no stone unturned. That means leave no one ignorant behind. Right? Each one teach one. We all might reach some.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. And if we all reach some, it won't be long before the enemy is done. Because once you purge the enemy within, you don't have to worry about the enemy without, because he will show itself.
That's why I'm trying to tell people, like, and they always make it seem like it's a white and black thing. Like, I'm trying to tell people, literally, the person that's having our demise is someone who looks just like us, because that's the only way they can know us. That's the only way they can know our every move and how we thinking about certain things and how certain things affect us. Like I'm trying not to say black anymore, but Aboriginal Indigenous people are the most empathetic people. You know what I'm saying? So they know how to get to us. They know that.
Pull on your heartstrings.
You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody said it's mudras. That's what I really meant too. The gang signs are mudras. You know, like that's correct. Energy, energy.
And they doing sign language too. So it's mudras, it's sign language, and we talking only from one side or the other side to tell a message up the middle. Only if you can see it from the middle. When GD throwing up the pitchforks and the Stone throwing up the 5, if you take sides, you don't know what the fuck going on. It's drama. But if you don't take sides and you give everybody their due respect, they both telling the same story. One of them telling it from mama's eyes and one of them telling it from daddy's eyes. But it's the same story. It doesn't change. It don't change from New York to Boston, from Boston to Philly, from Philly to Akron, from Akron to Dayton, from Dayton to Memphis, from Memphis to Miami, from Miami to Houston. It doesn't change. They all telling the same story. Something's wrong on the land.
Mm-hmm.
They telling us this. This is what the gang's telling us. In their mudras and their hand signs, when they repping they set, they telling us something wrong on the land. We don't know what it is. We
Mm-hmm.
need somebody to be able to see from both sides so that they can see the problem.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
So
a non-biased person.
Right. And that's the hardest part right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was trying to figure out how to get Larry out, I was also trying to figure out how to get Angel Bay out.
Mm-hmm.
I was also trying to figure out how to get Malachi York out.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else is only worried about their one.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're worried about just one person, you lost. Can't win that way. When you start seeing the family, look at it as a family struggle. We got internal family conflict, but now the whole family is under attack.
The whole family, and we've been under attack for a very long time. That's the thing too. Like, people think this just started with slavery. I'm like, this ain't just started with slavery. Like, we've been under attack before that.
Well,
before that.
they used to didn't come over here with that bullshit. They normally kept it in Asia and Africa. Mm-hmm. The land of Ainana, which is ISIS, which we call today Europe, Asia, and Australia, in the Pacific Islands. That's all ISIS. Mm-hmm. Inky shit is Africa. In the Americas was soft shit. Didn't nobody bring bullshit over here. Because normally when you come over here with bullshit, two of us will stop fighting to beat your ass. When we get done beating your ass, we'll go back to fighting until we finish whatever our problem was getting solved. Fact. So they was always at a disadvantage.
And it's crazy how stories are told so differently. And there's just, lies. Like, because, like, for instance, like, Christopher Columbus came to the island of Hispaniola first. Specifically Dominican Republic, and he met the Tainos there, and everybody just believes that he just conquered them and they just helped him. And really the truth, like, if you are from Dominican Republic, you know the truth. Like, half of our men told them that they're going to starve themselves. We're not going to teach you how to do the crops. We're not going to teach you how to fend for yourself. Like, this is war. You know what I'm saying? What they did was just take our women. They took our women and that broke our men. And, like, I don't know, like, to hear, like, certain stories, just like how you said, like, they switch these stories up. I took African American studies in college.
The hardest thing for us to grasp is this concept of these black conquistadors that look like us, pretended to be us, brought some people with them that was their servants that they held in bondage, made contracts with them, and told everybody they made the contract with us. Right? So now they $5 Indians about to get their $5 asses exposed. Right? Because fucking with me, I'm going to take their $5 ass and make change. And the change is this. When they brought them over here, the elders that they weren't allowed to kill based on divine intervention as reasons. That's why they couldn't kill certain people. If you kill certain, like for instance, if they kill Larry or they kill Angel Bay and they don't let them die from natural causes, it immediately sets a chain of events in the motion that they can't do nothing about. They are conscious and aware of this, but they don't tell us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So when you wonder why, right? So you wonder why Jeff was able to tell the police there won't be no killing without killing, while they were shooting us in the back like 90 going north in Chicago. How many of us don't stand up to the police in the public at a press conference of police and tell them it ain't gonna be no killing without killing? Y'all not just gonna come over here and kill us. It's not gonna happen. We gonna kill your ass back. And this is why they have to neutralize them to get them off the land. COINTELPRO, mission statement.
Yep. 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 It's even, I was talking to my mother today and I was telling her, she was mentioning the president or whatever. And I was just telling her, I was like, I actually really don't care, because it doesn't make sense for we to have a so-called person as our leader when they don't even make majority of the U.S. Most black people don't even do the census. You don't know how much of us are here. You don't know how many, and we all know it's more of us than them. You know what I'm saying? So like I was telling her, I was like, Colombia doesn't have a Puerto Rican leader. Puerto Rico don't have a Haitian leader. Haiti don't have a Dominican leader. You know, you have a leader that represents your people because they are part of your people. So like a lot of this stuff, like I just got onto like Larry Hoover and like, you know, who he really is and like why it's important for him to come out and stuff. But nonetheless, like I knew it was gonna have to be one of us, to like somebody who's strong, somebody who has a presence, and somebody who's been around for a minute, for people to like kind of wake up and come together. Because it doesn't matter if it's Larry Hoover or Angel Bay or Tukey, you know what I'm saying? As long as somebody's representing us and we know that they have our best intentions, you know, and they want to see us free and want to see the liberation of us. But everybody's just so focused on who it is, you know what I'm saying? Who's setting us free. And like for me, I don't really think that matters, you know? Like I know plenty of us are tired. Everybody's just tired of the way the system is going.
And that's where we at right now. So we know everybody tired, but how many people tired enough to say enough is enough and disassociate from the system? Right. That's where that's where the problem come in at. I'm gonna take another guest.
All right.
I really appreciate you, sweetie. It was some good input to add. You made me look good.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be back at it again.
All right, peace.
So I'm gonna take
how do I
got you.
Okay.
Hey. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
So I've been noticing, like, in one of your lives I watched, you were talking about how the dancing is really important.
Yes.
And I've been noticing like people are dancing everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere. Like every time I get on every time I get on any app, they always crip walking or doing some type of just some type of dance, and I'm noticing like that's increasing. Like, what does it really mean?
It's the frequency. Now, if you go back to the Salem witch hunts, one of the events that kicked off a massacre was the young maidens, the young ladies, were becoming intoxicated by seeing each other dance. They know that is a massive conjure on earth for the women to dance and to harness the energy of the earth, especially barefoot. Somebody put in the comments, which is true. And so if the women can hold the frequency long enough, it'll start activating the mitochondria in the women nearby. They won't be able to sit still. And then when enough women are activated, they start activating the mitochondrial in the men. And the men start, dancing and crip walking and B walking and C walking and G walking and jitting in Detroit and, different stuff. Bankhead bouncing in Atlanta. So these local dances, the local conjures, the people that develop the dance is absorbing the sequence from the earth through their DNA. And the more Crips start crip walking right now, the more lightning storms we're going to have, right? But it's going to also serve a notice to the rest of the Crips. We waking up. California ready. Chicago ready. New York ready. New Orleans is ready. Miami is ready. Boston is ready. Right? Problem is everywhere in the middle ain't ready. We got to get the middle, the ones in the middle, ready. Oh, New York ready. Pretty Jen said New York ain't. Yeah, they ready. You just don't know because they all laying in what you call sleeper mode, waiting to be activated. Soon as they see these three kings walking on the land, the whole dynamic change instantly. Right? This is when you see the police standing outside their car with nothing to fucking do. They don't got nothing to do. It's over at that point. All they can do is stand outside and watch because they can't do anything. Right? So we're trying to get the rest of the people to wake up. So the Nubians know what's up. The righteous Moors know what's up, and the dirty Moors. The dirty Moors is now in sulking mode because they fucking lost. They brought that bullshit over here and thought we weren't gonna never fit. We was gonna think that every time we turn around and then somebody looked like us selling us out, that it was one of us. We ain't gonna never think it was them. We know it was them. We know how they infiltrate our organizations. They the only ones can do it. Pink people can't infiltrate our organizations. It wasn't nobody pink skin with straight hair infiltrated the Panthers. It wasn't nobody with pink skin and straight hair that infiltrated the Nation of Islam. Right? Same with the 5% Nation. Them niggas that killed Klans 13X was darker than me. And they didn't get caught. Because they got the police on payroll.
That put me in the mind of when I seen that, watched one of the movies they made about Malcolm X. It was two men, like they were hella black, but they had on suits or something. It was one of them movies. But they was black like this.
He said it. Malcolm said it in the speech that he gave when his house got bombed. And he named names of infiltrators so Elijah Muhammad to know who they is. This is what people don't know. See, we got a way of talking to each other where the ones us that know what's being said, but the rest of the people is just going to suspect they know. You keep suspecting you know, and you remember the part you think you know, but when the truth come out, we'll fix that part for you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he's in there, and he's saying that when he get the names, he say, this is nothing the police don't know. The police know this. Malcolm know the code of the street, so he ain't telling on nobody. He even say, I'm not telling on nobody. This is wrong. This is what the police, the one told me who it was that was stalking me.
That's wild.
Right? Then he turned around and he say, the Nation of Islam has been infiltrated at every level by the FBI and the police. It was somebody looked like us gave the layout of the house that Fred Hampton was sleeping in.
Wow.
Watch Judas and the Black Messiah. That's a good loose depiction. But read the FBI files on it. That's a whole nother avenue of looking at it. You know, so it was somebody looked like us shot Tupac.
I could believe it.
You know, they look just like us.
I believe it because, like, think about when you say that, like, think about the narrative that they play. All these people from the streets and, you know what I'm saying, being on all this and that, so they can throw it off as gang violence. That's the cover.
The only thing is people think that these is our people. They not our people. They not us. They just look like us. They look like us enough to infiltrate us without us knowing if we don't know how they vibe.
So let me ask you this. So with that being said, it's like the ones that kill are not us. So, like, is that in our nature then?
They not us.
Is that a nature? That's what I'm saying. Is that a nature thing? Like, is that a way of telling, like, if you can kill a person, then you're not?
Because I murdered one of them motherfuckers in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But it's because I have to defend my land and my people.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we do it to defend. They just do it just to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Basically what I'm saying.
It's still strategic. It's still strategic. It's based on your bloodline, and it's based on your ability to be able to get people to listen to you speak, sing, or whatever. This is the reason why everybody go to Hollywood have to go through these shaming ceremonies so that they can have something over their head to disgrace them in front of the people.
Makes sense.
Because as long as you think R. Kelly a pedophile, as long as you believe R. Kelly a pedophile, then his influence has been minimized. His voice has been murdered. When you understand what hang him in effigy means, right? There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to bust a gat, and there's more than one way to kill somebody.
I've heard all of it before.
So you kill their legacy while they still alive. That's the worst murder.
It is.
Right? But some of them, you can't kill their legacy because they see your bullshit. So they murdered them. Like they did Malcolm. Like they did Martin. You know? They pay dirty hands to do their dirty work so they can come by us and say, I told you it was Whitey. I told you. Uncle Ruckus knows when he say he knows. Don't trust the reverse vitiligo. You know what I'm saying? We see it now.
Oh my goodness. They be sounding like straight clowns. Like, you don't make no type of sense.
Yeah, so what they normally do, Clarence 13 Next could have took this nation back from them, but they murdered him. Right? Malcolm X could have took the nation back from them, but they murdered him. They poisoned Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Right? They murdered John Africa. They murdered Joseph Sinkhu. They murdered Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. They murdered them. But they want us to believe we the killers. They wrote on paper they was gonna neutralize them. They poisoned Bob Marley, talking about he caught cancer from kicking the soccer ball. As if we supposed to believe this shit. Dr. Sabi ain't dead. He on his ranch laughing at their ass because they think they killed him. He was extracted. He right down there, probably having dinner with Left Eye and motherfucking Aaliyah, talking about what we gonna do when this shit over with. Because that's who at his ranch with him. You know. So if they coming at us, they swore war on us till they take us for everything we got. They never relented in the war.
Yeah, how much more you think we got? Y'all done came and stole every damn thing.
The last hurrah was, if none of us rise up with the capabilities to reclaim the land, identify the true leaders of the land, expose the true leaders of the land to the people, and show them who the imposters on the land is, what they done, and how they done it. That exposes the dirty Moors for what they is. Now, I can't say all Moors because we was actively infiltrating their shit while they was actively infiltrating our shit. Right? So all Moors not dirty Moors. But for a dirty Moor, I can cut him from asshole to appetite and never lose him.
Greeting God.
Greeting God. Peace to you. Scorpio gang in the house. I see y'all.
Hey, I'm actually Pisces, Libra ascendant, but hey, my son is a Scorpio though.
Hey, it's all the Scorpios in the comments doing their Scorpio thing, you know.
Hey, for real. And I'm working, so my bad if the signal go out a little bit. I work for Amazon. Now working for the Bezos.
Yeah.
But I used to be an admin for ISIS's group, you know, and this was before I had saw your live where you were explaining, you know, all the scamming stuff she was doing, and I wasn't really using my discernment because a lot of her followers in her group are really low vibrational people who really don't be using their discernment to really figure out stuff on their own. And you see, I know I'm from the land. You know what I'm saying? My dad, he's from Chicago, and our ancestors come from Mississippi. And when I know my lineage, I know where I come from. When people disrespect that lineage,